Hi, it's Shira7 again. I'm back with the esoteric, symbolic, occult meaning, symbolism behind Michael Jackson. In this first picture, you can see he's against a brick wall, which is symbolic of Freemasonry. You can see he has one hand in his pocket and one hand pointing up, which is as above, so below, as well as a Freemasonry signal. The bow tie as well also means hidden knowledge. Symbolically. And then on this picture, he's portraying himself as a warrior type angel or Archangel Michael. And this was the single cover for the Earth song. So he was like protecting humanity, which also is a characteristic of Archangel Michael. This next picture, he loves everyone. He doesn't discriminate. This is it album cover and movie poster where he's posing like sort of like a Christ figure as well as here. And then this is a tarot card, and I think it's sort of doing the same exact thing. Right there, it's the Seven of Cups, and it's basically, self-explanatory if you want to go and research that. There's another picture of a Christ figure returning, like a thief in the night or a smooth criminal. Of course, he's pointing up, the hand in the pocket. Captain Eo. Eo is the dawn or the light in Greek. This is a picture of him with a dove and a watch in his hand with a Christ heart saying peace is coming soon. This is him portrayed as Archangel Michael, and here's a other picture of Archangel Michael, and this is him in the video You Are Not Alone. So this is the glove, which represents the right hand of God, which is also Archangel Michael. This is his Dangerous album cover. There's lots of esoteric alchemy in this if you want to take a deeper look at it. I'll go into that later, but I think there's videos on that already. And this is Michael painted as the Venus de Milo and the David statue combined, which is androgyny. This is a Jesus picture. Notice the ball in his hand. And then this is it, Light Man at the beginning. It has a ball. This is it from far away, if you've ever seen that movie. And then this is a painting of Archangel Michael with the ball of light, and then an ebony cover with Prince holding up the same thing. So this is like basically knowledge, power, spirituality. On this picture we have there's a monkey with a crown above it on his album cover. The Monkey King. I don't know if you've ever heard of Sun Wukong. He's a Hindu god, and I think there's a movie coming out actually about that. Well, basically, Sun Wukong is sort of like a angel figure in their religion, and Michael and Obama actually have a lot in common. Many thought this shirt was racist, but it's not. They were just comparing him to Sun Wukong because the Monkey King, so people thought that was offensive, but it really wasn't. See, he had all the little talismans of the Monkey King and whatnot. It's basically like a fallen angel that was redeemed, Sun Wukong, but instead he was a god that came to the West and had a staff. So you have all these, and see, there's a little snake thing on his head. So and then Obama and Michael have so much in common, and this is what I thought was kind of strange. Both have statues in ancient Egypt that resemble what they look like now. So I think that's kind of strange but interesting as well. They both want to be portrayed as superheroes or saviors or some type of hero to the world, of course. And they were both kind of like that in the beginning. Also, Barack Obama was portrayed as an angel, and there's an angel called Barakiel, a fallen angel actually, that was redeemed. So And then we have him again portrayed as an angel. This was before the election. I mean, before he got elected. And then, of course, afterwards, people are, making pictures about him that aren't so nice, as well as they did Mike. So, if when you're any kind of power, people are going to try to tear you down. And I thought this was funny. Halloween, there was a Joker and a Michael right next to each other. Both have been portrayed like Jesus for some reason, like a savior, like I said. And, we do this, But I think Michael, he was Christ-like anyway. He was always loving, giving. He cared about humanity. So, and then Obama, his first trip was to Egypt when he was as the president. And they both had an affinity for Egypt. Of course, we know why. They were both, really good with kids, and kids kind of had an affinity for them. They liked kids. Kids liked them. I think it was, just an aura and a feeling about them. They both could draw a crowd, that's for sure. Historical crowds, record-breaking crowds, both of them. And if you noticed, when that Obama became president, not even like shortly after that, Michael left us. So it was like one in and one out. Can't have two at the same time. Then when he went to Russia, the Russian president wanted to talk about Michael Jackson. That was a cartoon of it. Now look here how he poses. I mean, this is a Christ-like pose in so many of his pictures, videos, and performances. He did a lot of posing as Christ, like Christ consciousness, which he did have, and that was a lot of similar things about that. I'll go into it later, but on here he's portrayed as Archangel Michael and Christ at the same time when they poke the arrow in his side, at the very end of the crucifixion, if you've ever seen the Jesus movie. So, and some believe that Archangel Michael and Jesus are the same, but incarnate. And this is a picture of Judgment, which is Archangel Michael blowing the horn, raising the dead. Looks a lot like Thriller performance on This Is It, if you ask me. And also, he also on the video, he walked next to a cemetery and was singing, which is his instrument, which is his voice, versus a trumpet, and raised the dead in the cemetery. And of course he would go in and out of consciousness, higher consciousness and lower consciousness. That's why he would become a zombie, and then the next minute he was normal, and then the next minute he was a zombie, because he would go in and out just like we all struggle. This is that picture I was telling you about when he was pointing to the Twin Towers for his Bad concert, and it says, I think it says special edition over it. I thought it said something else, but this is also I talked about this in another video, where he's on the dance floor, like Freemason style, 9/11 blowing up in the background, and that was made in 1997. So that was a prediction. That's a Freemason floor. And I'm going to leave you something to ponder. Look where it says Michael is alive. Ha ha ha. And I think that's just pretty funny, and leave it at that.